Welcome to Life Inside Hell. It's me, your host, Brother Wild Bill, coming to you from inside the most dangerous prison in Central America. I'm the prison's chaplain as well as an inmate. I'm serving a 46-year sentence for quintuple homicide, and I've been inside the clink for 13 years. This is my audio diary. Most people that are listening to it, and already know all this shit. And so today I wanted to talk about a friend of mine, something that's going on, and I was speaking to her about a difficult situation in her life. Now, I would never use her name at all, but she is, I don't know, but I think she's in her late 40s, early 50s, I think, something like that. And her husband is in probably his late 50s, early 60s. This is what I think. I don't know, but I'm going to say that because I think that's correct. Anyway, the poor fellow has got cancer, and then they had told him in February that he beat the cancer. He was cancer-free, and unfortunately, he was completely fucking eat up with it again. And I think it's that, and I'm going to pronounce it wrong, mesothelioma or some shit like that, that's caused by, I think maybe asbestos or something. I'm not sure. But she told me what kind of cancer it was. It was something that's caused by a substance in his work with the government. Anyway, so talking about this really difficult situation for her, I don't want to get too intimate with their details at all, but I think it's an important situation to talk about here. She's confronting the unfairness of life. I mean, it's certainly unfair. A man worked, I think she said 42 years. He worked 42 years for the government, and his reward is death. That's what his reward for that is. That's extremely unfair. And you say, well, where's God? What's life's unfair? We start with that shit. I want to say something to you that's true. Sometimes life hands you a shit sandwich and you just gotta fucking eat it. There ain't anything you can do about it. It's unfortunate, and we can sit around and do a couple of things. One, we can sit around and I had this conversation with her. There's nothing, when life hands you a shit sandwich, there ain't anything you can do about it. The only thing you can do is eat it. And the faster you fucking eat it, the quicker it goes away, and then you can find steak again, or something to wash your mouth out with. Because shit tastes bad. You can put as much ketchup on a shit sandwich as you want, it still tastes like shit. I mean, these are metaphors. Obviously, nobody's eating shit, but I'm talking in a metaphorical way. When life hands you something that's really terrible, sometimes you just got to accept it and move on. And what a fucking hard thing that is for her or anybody else in that situation to accept that a loved one is going to die. There isn't anything anybody can do about it. And, have their life cut short like that. So what do you do? What do you do when something unfair happens? You got a couple of options, or more than a couple maybe. But one of the things you can do is become really, really bitter and allow all the rest of your life experiences to be shit as well, be tainted by that shit sandwich that you were forced to eat. That's one thing you can do. Another thing that you can do is tell everybody who wants to hear how unfortunate and unfair life is. You can bitch about it every day for the rest of your life and be a victim. And take on the moniker of being a victim, and I assure you, life will continue to send you more situations in which you can be a victim, because the law of attraction says whatever you decide to think about and to be, that's what you become and do. So that's another thing that you can do. You can become a victim. Or you can eat the shit sandwich and just say, hey, this is bad. This is what happened to me, or it is happening, and take it one day at a time, living in the moment until the shit sandwich and the terrible thing happens, and you can get past it and continue to have a sweet and wonderful life afterwards. There's a lot of, I think in her situation, one of the hardest things to take that advice, that's the advice I gave her. But I think one of the reasons it's hard to take that advice is it's hard for her it's so unfair, and that someone that she loves so much is going to die, that it seems callous to take that point of view. But that's the only positive point of view you could take. Like in her situation, I'm not even going to get into it because it's too intimate. But in any situation where something bad is happening and unfolding in front of you, something bad is unfolding, minute by minute, day by day, week by week in front of you, and there's nothing you can do about it, is just live in the moment and try to be happy in this moment right now. and don't think about the future or anything else. Live in this moment and try to be happy right now. Read a good book, drink a cup of coffee. If it is something like that, like a significant other is going to pass, then you spend as much time as you can with that person and squeeze as much good stuff out of that as you can get before it goes on over. Or if somebody has already died, grieve, let it go, move forward. There isn't anything else you can do. Sometimes things are just fucking unfair and there isn't any closure about it. I know that also happens in relationships. I had a relationship like that with a woman that I loved very much, and that relationship ended in like the most ugly and embarrassing and demoralizing way. And there's no way to get closure about it. There isn't any way to get closure about it. And you're just not fucking going to be okay for a while. And you have to accept that. I'm not okay. I'm not going to fucking be okay. And so we'll just take it minute by minute, day by day, week by week, month by month, until it gets easier. And you know what? It does. It always gets easier. Because life isn't all good. Life isn't all bad. It's a pendulum that swings back and forth, and sometimes crazily. One day's good, one day's bad, And so if you don't like the climate of your life, if you don't like what's going on in your life right now, wait. Hang out and be cool. Because there's a Panamanian saying that there's no evil that lasts 100 years. No hay mal que dura 100 años. There's no evil that lasts 100 years. Just be cool, sit still. You don't like there's a saying in Western North Carolina, if you don't like the weather, wait 15 minutes. And that's life. If you don't like what's going on, wait a year. Shit'll be different next year. Shit'll be different in next month, next week, tomorrow, So we have to practice really a lot living in the moment, especially when something bad happens. When something bad happens, something terrible, we feel impotent, we feel robbed, we feel like we are a victim. We got to put that victim mentality up and just try to live and get through it, live through the best moments that we can, and move forward. So when life hands you a shit sandwich, eat that motherfucker as quick as you can so you can wash your mouth out with water after and then and eat something good afterwards. And that's life. When life hands you something that's terrible, get through it as quick as you can so that you can get on with your fucking life. And there's nothing wrong with that. And that's what you should be doing in every situation that's unpleasant. I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have enjoyed it, please like, subscribe, and comment. If you haven't enjoyed it, please roll it up and ram it really far up your ass, because I don't care. In the description box, you can pull down. There's a way to contact me. There's an email, Instagram, and a Facebook. So I try to check them all every day. I don't always get around to them because sometimes the cell phone blockers, machines that block the cell phone signal, are up here. So I don't always get to it. Anyway, but I try very hard to check it every day. On top of that, there's a Wikipedia link if you want to know more about who the hell is Wild Bill. Well, there's the Wikipedia link. You can read about me. And then there's a link to my book, Long Live the King and Wild Bill. If you haven't bought my book, go buy my damn book. Help me, support me. I'm dying here, starving to death in hell. And in a Panamanian prison, you got to buy your own food and stuff. So anybody that wants to contribute as well can either buy the book or contact me directly to contribute. I really thank my friends who are constantly contributing to me and helping me survive here in this really difficult situation I have put myself into. So God bless you. Jesus Christ loves you, and I love you too.